Hey everyone, Dave here with the Affordable Door and Gate. Hope you're doing well. So, Sean asked me a question. He's from the UK. Hello, UK. And it sparked something in my brain that I thought, you know what, I should bring this up to my fellow YouTubers because there's some pros and cons, and you can always email me because I'm not going to cover it all in this video. I just can't. There's just not enough time. But if you have any questions or I missed something or something wasn't quite clear, you can always email me at the daveadubson@gmail.com. I put it in the description below. So right here is a picture of my old house, right? And luckily for me, my house was zoned commercial, so I couldn't really get shut down. But you can kind of see, if I point the mouse here, I got a neighbor here that's really close to this fence line. And I got one over here that you can't see where this black vehicle's parked in this pine tree. So I had neighbors on both sides, but you can see what do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a couple over here, 6, 7, 8. I got upwards of 9 or 10 cars in the driveway here. And this is basically my lot. I'm basically at the road, so I'm kind of maxed out. So I want to kind of touch base with you guys today and talk about kind of the pros and the cons of either, working out of your house or having a business, a physical location somewhere else. So let's get into it. As I'm taking notes for you guys, I was kind of looking at this picture and I'm thinking to myself, if you're a young man, this isn't such a bad gig, right? Because if you start out, for me, when I was starting the business, I didn't have, so many distractions, I guess. And so as I went on, I noticed the business started impeding on my life. It started impeding on my family. And it started becoming a big burden. Some examples, right? These people would randomly show up, right? So one thing, I put these gates out there originally for my dogs. I had 2 black Labradors, good dogs. But then I started realizing that the gates work nice because, like after 5 or 6 o'clock at night, I would shut them. I could let the dogs out. And it also just worked as a deterrent for people just not to randomly show up, because it would happen. I just get somebody to pull up in the driveway and it's like, are you here for business? Are you here for pleasure? Are you here for personal? Are you here for what are you here for? So the gates worked really nice. You can see I got the old sign out here on the front. But so right here, this bigger garage you can see basically was our office in the back. I actually started out, you can't see it, but there was a little office behind here in this house. I started out there. That was on the back side. It was like a mudroom. And then we ended up moving out into the back of the garage. Now, the back of the garage was a lot nicer. It had its own bathroom, had a shower, it had a fridge, it had a TV. I mean, it had a lot of amenities, and it worked great for the secretary. Kind of a little bit of a dungeon, but it did the job for the time being as we grew. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, when the business grew, I kind of ran out of room out of this garage. So I had to go over into this little garage. Well, the little garage was kind of used for personal / the wife parked in there. So her car didn't get all, snowed up and everything. And she had somewhere safe to park, basically. Well, that started filling up with garage doors and stuff like that because basically where you can see this black vehicle, that's where the Wayne Dalton truck used to back up. Well, another thing that was a problem being at your house was that for whatever reason, Wayne Dalton, bless their heart, they wanted to always deliver. They had this one guy at the beginning, and he would like to come at like sometimes 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, before I'm even up. I was kind of normally up and ready about 7 o'clock, and he'd be backing up, right? And you got blinking lights. My bedroom was right here, almost where the eagle is to the left. And so you got these blinking lights, So imagine waking up, beep, beep, beep. You're like, what's going on here? Something on fire? Blinking red lights and stuff. Now, of course, I had to go out there and try to help him because I obviously didn't want him to damage the doors, because if he damages doors, that's more callbacks, that's more warranty, that's more time, that's more money. So I'd have to run out there, throw some clothes on. So that was always kind of a pain because it seemed like, well, it's your house, you should be there, right? When we did the business location, it turned into more or less like, we work from like 8 to 4. So like you can show up at like maybe 7:30 or something, but it took out that kind of that weird equation. So it worked out really nice. Another thing, vacation became a big problem. I would take vacation, right? Maybe something happened. You want to come home maybe a day or so early, right? And just relax and chill. Something just, you want to hang out. Well, of course, when you come home, what happens? Well, everybody sees that you're home, right? So then the phone starts ringing, and well, hey, I see you're back early, blah blah blah. Yeah, well, I'm not here. You know what I mean? I told you next week is when I come back. Well, it's no big deal. Yeah, but I need you to kind of respect this is my time. Like I only take maybe 3 days off or a week once a year. Can you please, like what is it? I got somebody else that's in charge. That's their job. Everyone's in your business. You know what I mean? When you're at home, you plant a garden, they know about it. You wash your dishes, they know about it. You mow the grass, they know about it. I mean, you have no personal life, especially when you have employees and you start growing into it. Customers. I had customers randomly when the office was behind here above this one truck. Randomly showed up one day. I remember we did a big mall job and it was for Yonkers, and everybody took that day off because we worked late that night. I mean, till 5 o'clock in the morning. And I remember this guy comes busting in the door and he's like, I've been calling you all day, and it's like, dude, I mean, I just got an hour of sleep. Like, please go away, So people just, coming into your stuff that just seemed kind of unannounced, it was always kind of a burden in that sense. Barking dog, right? You have maybe a customer you want to try to impress a little bit or whatever. The dog's barking, right? The animals are doing something there. Kids are banging on the window. I also started realizing I started having these hazards around the house. I have sharp metal. I have garage doors with sharp corners. I got a metal bin, or maybe the metal bin's full, so they dump it off on the side. Maybe the guys aren't that cautious. They're dumping things on the ground. I got little kids that are trying to, pick stuff up and put it in their mouths. You just start realizing a lot of things. So keep that in mind if you're a young guy. It's the kids started adding a lot to it. You know what I mean? And then, just with the animals and stuff, if you're kind of a single one-man band, it's really not too bad. You can deal with it. You know what I mean? You're kind of like living high on the kite. So just some things to keep in mind as we talk about this. So here's a little better shot. I didn't realize I had this, but I had a trailer here for this scissor lift to try to keep it protected. This was basically scrap. This back one was garbage, basically wood garage doors. But, I got probably 1, 2, 3, I had 4, 5. I don't know. I got somewhere between like 6 and 10 vehicles in this yard. By the time employees show up with their vehicles, I got, 7 service trucks that I'm running. It was a lot, you know what I mean? And like I said, you can see there's stuff sitting right here, the kids and stuff like that, they're riding their bikes. It just become kind of a hazard. Now your situation can be totally different. You might have a barn way out back or something. You might have it totally fenced off, but it just seemed like you're always living in it. You know what I mean? And it just started becoming kind of a burden. And sometimes you got to move up. Even the dogs, because I used to cut up wood doors, right, to save on money and the trip and landfill and everything. I was cutting them up. You can see the pile there, and look at the darn dogs climb it, almost ready to climb over the fence. 2 of them there. Just couldn't believe it. So it was time. It was time. And then we moved into the building. Now, let me give you some pointers on the building. If you're looking to upgrade into a building, you're kind of in that position. Here's my 2 cents, right? Don't take this as legal advice or anything like that. I am not an attorney. So here's the thing. If I had to do it again, I would literally probably lease. Why would you do that? Everything is a learning experience, right? Everything is a new adventure. Everything is dipping your foot and not putting both feet in and then getting swallowed. So the problem was with this building is that once you kind of go into big boy pants, there is a lot of the township. You have to be approved by the township. There's zoning. This building had to have a lot of stuff done, concrete, build out, doors. I mean, you name it. Basically, it was a shell, right? You have to get the contractors. All this stuff takes a lot of time. On top of you trying to run a business, on top of you trying to make sure stuff's getting paid, taking care of employees. It's a lot of work, a ton of work. So I did want to jump on this for a second, though. I know Sean was talking about a display. Now, I thought that was going to be the cat's meow, right? You're going to have people come in and you're going to have the showroom and stuff. We don't have a big showroom, obviously. You can actually just see right here. We have the displays and we have a display here. Our office is not that big if you've been watching any of my other videos. So The problem I realized though with the building, right? Now the building relieved a lot of that stuff, right? The kids, your personal life, that was a big help, right? But it also added a lot of stress, more payments, just more things to take care of, surveillance cameras, more security, just a lot more stuff to manage. The showroom over here for us in our geographical area did not work. It did not work. Now, I'm not saying it couldn't with a bigger building and the right, it depends on whatever you want to focus on. If you focus hard enough on something, it will happen eventually. But for us, right, I thought, we'll get people that want remotes and stuff like that. It was very petty. We'd have people that do want remotes, right? You tell them it's $45. $45, I can go to the store and buy it for $40. Okay, well, then how do I program it, right? You try to explain it to them. Now, you might be able to use the power of YouTube, but it was like by the time you tell them, say, well, now it's $65 for us to come out and program it. Oh my gosh, $45 for a remote and $65 to program it. Oh my gosh, and you try to explain to them. So it came very petty. It seemed like to me we'd find more people that they had more time than they did money. So most of the time you're going to their house, right? You're going to bring a brochure. You're going to give them examples or samples. So the building didn't work for us so much as a showroom. It worked more as a general location for the guys to meet up, to understand what's the job that's going to happen that day, and to basically leave it at that. Luckily for us, our secretaries work remotely. When the cost center went around, that was great. We didn't have to worry about that because everything's set up. I think we use like a system called Ring Central, which is a nice phone system. It costs money and it takes a while to get. A lot of people don't understand this stuff takes years and years to get built. So plan accordingly. So just remember, kind of in conclusion, like I said, I just scratched the surface with this video. So definitely hit me up, email. You got questions. I'll make another video talking more in depth about something that you guys come up with, because that's what encourages me to do these videos is when you guys email me, or sometimes the comments below. Email always works the best, the daveadubson@gmail.com. So the building, yes. After the building got brought out, look, we got concrete here. We got the building painted. We got concrete inside. We got an office. Yes, it was great, right? But to get there was a huge hurdle. Thousands and thousands of dollars that was unexpected, that the township made us do certain things to be up to compliant code, all this other stuff. Yes, it was great because now we have somewhere to store our stuff. Everybody's not in your personal life. So yes, it is a big improvement. There's no doubt about it. But it just depends on where you're at. And like I said, one thing, I went fast and hard. I really did. So, just take your time in things. Don't be afraid. So yes, like I said, basically it doesn't hurt to take baby steps. I really jumped in hardcore. Lots and lots of late nights, weekends, Saturday and Sunday, so you can go fast, but you can really burn yourself out. So just take everything with a grain of salt, use your best judgment. And like I said, if you're young and you got youth on your side, you're golden. But like I always tell you guys, it might be something to consider, maybe getting into a different kind of career, because garage doors are tough. They are tough. It's not that you can't make a living, you can't make money, right? You can do it in anything, right? There's a person that goes around and shovels up dog crap, and makes money. You know what I mean? There's a brochure that goes around. But what I'm saying is you got to think about long-term. Sometimes you got to think about, what do you want more passive? Remember, everything you touch is liability, right? You got to warranty it. You got to back it up. Your name, there's a lot that goes into it. So maybe you want to start pushing something, right? Maybe you want to start selling something on eBay. Maybe you want to start doing something on Amazon. Maybe you want to start doing real estate. Maybe you want to start doing vending machines, because those things are getting coins behind your back, right? Ka-ching, 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 right? But you physically can only do so much in an 8-hour day or a 10-hour day or a 14-hour day. You got to remember that, unless you start getting employees. And you got to remember, things are changing in that atmosphere. You know what I mean? Things are not going for the better, right? I mean, we got the government that's looking to tell you to stay home and don't work. You got so many things of so many benefits out there that they can get. So just keep that stuff in mind. Like I said, I don't tell you to discourage you. I just tell you it because I want you to be aware of it. There's a lot of things that are out of our control that works against us as business owners, and even as employees, right? There's a lot of things, even the other side of it. So with that, you guys, I hope you learned something. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for being here. If you don't mind, hit the like button on the way out. It just helps the algo and encourages me to keep making these videos for you. So we'll see you later. Take care. Become a subscriber. It's free. I won't stalk you. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.